Hey folks, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back for another mod overview. This time we're going to be having a look at Rise of the East. This is a Yuri's Revenge mod for Yuri's Revenge. It seeks out to remaster the RA2 and Yuri's Revenge single player campaigns. It also, however, adds in, or they're in the process of adding in, missions from East Asia and GLA from Generals, which is really interesting to see those missions in the Yuri's Revenge engine, so we'll check out some of that. The main priority for the team at the moment, however, seems to be focusing on the multiplayer balance. They've done quite a intensive job in terms of getting the original missions and stuff to work with the mod itself. However, I'm not quite sure how much they've retweaked them just yet. However, as I say, multiplayer seems to be the primary focus for these folks at the moment. In terms of what's actually some of the new features of the latest mod, we're going to be looking at the beta version, which is version 3.0 or something. We'll check it in a second. But the key thing here is that the notes up on the ModDB page will be for the live branch, which is v2.2.5 at the moment. I expect that this will change over the v3.0 in a very near future. They're currently doing a whole bunch of testing with some players, trying to get some feedback and tweak it here and there before they go all the way towards submitting it for a final release, which is always good to see. As you can see, the interesting thing with this seems to be in terms of the addition of the GLA and East Asia factions. Definitely something that I haven't seen across any Yuri's Revenge mods to date, so it's definitely an ambitious project. In this latest version, they mentioned some upcoming updates of v2.3, one of which is adding a whole bunch of sub-factions to each main faction. So you can see here a full list of the factions in the game, / sub-factions. So you got 3 for the Allies, 3 for Soviets, 3 for the Psi Corps, 3 for East Asia, and 3 for GLA. We'll likely be going to go through each one of these new factions as it currently stands in v3.0, just to show them off a little bit and see how they handle. You can see they've made some attempts as well in terms of trying to get the Generals missions up and running in the RA2 engine. It's pretty cool. I wasn't a huge fan myself of the Generals engines and how the gameplay handled in them. I did play through them when they originally released. It's been a while since then, but I never really had as much of a passion for them as I did for the likes of Yuri's Revenge / Tiberian Sun, those kind of engines. So it's really interesting to see how they handle in this, and I hope they do a good job and it feels good. They've done a whole bunch of new assets and stuff, converting buildings for the Generals missions. They are officially supported with CNCnet, as tends to be the case with quite a lot of the mods we looked at for these mod reviews. One of the things that they've actually done quite a lot of work on is integrating the Phobos engine, which is sort of a engine extension into the basic Yuri's Revenge client. So it's pretty cool to see them taking advantage of that, showing things like how much power structures take, things like hero units, cost, power, they'll do a whole bunch of additional features. They also, I think, show active and inactive harvesters. We'll have a look at that. Localization, translation is underway. The first language the mod is being translated to into Chinese, which is pretty cool. So they're definitely being very considerate about the multilingual audience, so that's really fun to see. Story and lore, they're currently undertaking some work with that. I'm not quite sure much of this is implemented yet into the v3.0 beta at the moment, but that's fair enough. To actually get access to this, it's very straightforward. Go to the ModDB page, go to the file section, have your local Yuri's Revenge install, and then just download v2.2.5 full and drag it into the Yuri's Revenge folder, and you should be good to go. It's pretty cool, pretty straightforward. They made it very easy, which you would like to see. Here itself is the game client running v3.0 or 179. For those interested, if you're running the v2.5 and want to switch to the beta version, you can go into options, go to updater, and you can click the update server here, switch it from live server to beta server. One quick note on this is that the test server is based in Australia, so it will take a while to download files from this. I had a bunch of difficulties trying to switch and upgrade from the basic client to this one, but thankfully the Discord community is quite active for this game, and I'll link that down below in the description, so if you have difficulties you can contact them. But if needs be, someone can send you a zip of all the files and you should be good to go. But just so you're aware, that's where you go into the options, updater, update server, and change this to beta to get access to the latest build of the game. Now version 3.0, it's actually quite a bit different from the 2.5 from what I've seen. Primarily due to they've had a whole logo change, but they've also changed some of the additional settings in here, so just be aware of that. But yeah, so that's kind of a look at what's here. The campaign section, you've got the 5 factions, so Allies, Soviets, series. Then you have the GLA, and then you've got East Asia. So if you go into any of these, you'll see that it has a breakdown of the missions. From what I could see, these are more or less a identical remake of the original missions. However, it includes the tech changes and balance changes of the mod itself, so you got to bear that in consideration. We might pop into 1 or 2 of these later. We'll see how we are for time. Similarly, Soviets, you can see the Red Alert 2, Yuri's Revenge missions. You can see Yuri's Revenge doesn't have any in here just yet, but there are some for the Asia campaign, and there's some for the I believe there's some for the GLA campaign. Yeah, so you can see there's a few in here. We'll probably pop into these a bit later on. First, we're going to get a feel for what the factions and things are like in this. So I think we're going to go and move into some skirmishes. So within our skirmishes, we're going to be having a look at each of the new sub-factions. So you can see that they've added more recently Japan, Ukraine, Gensis, Vietnam, and Cobra. So we're going to actually play as each one of those factions, I think. Just to show them off a little bit, because they are the latest, and it'll give us an idea for how the base factions kind of feel, as well as the special unique units for the sub-factions. So we're probably going to kick off with Japan and Iraq here. We'll go through a few random maps, see a bunch of different effects and stuff they have going. You can see they have enablers here for changing the time of day, weather effects, which is pretty nice. Starting units, you can change tech units. Super weapons, we'll have them enabled by default. Fog of war levels of gameplay currently off. Co-op and challenge levels. So they do have multiple game modes. It's worth pointing out. You can go through them all here. They have a bunch of cooperative campaign missions, which is pretty cool, from the Yuri, Soviet, and Allies campaign. So that's a pretty fun idea. I haven't checked these out yet, but I'm sure that they are quite enjoyable if you want to play them with a friend. It's a good way to have some fun. But we're just going to primarily be starting out here, trying out some skirmishes, and then we might pop in and have a look at one of the co-ops, see if we can do it with an AI later on. But for now, we're going to focus on these campaigns. This is quite a nice looking map, actually. I think we'll probably just go with this. We're going to be on different teams, going to be random. I'm going up against easy AI for the purposes of actually being able to talk about what the hell's going on and what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't get steamrolled too badly. I've only played a handful of missions from this mod to date. So do bear that in mind. There's a whole bunch of side settings here too, in terms of short game, MS3 repacks, crates, multi-engineer, in-game allies, brutal AI if you want a better challenge than the hard AI, it's pretty good. Instant Conyard, disable navy ore booster, increases the value of all ore types and drilling rate by 30%. It's pretty cool. Limited ore storage, no spawn previews, so that's pretty cool. By default, it seems to start us with 30,000 credits in the beta. This is a version I've taken from someone else in the community, so it might not actually default to that high when you're on the official beta branch. But we're going to, I think we'll max this out, so it gives us enough time to quickly go through all of the building structures and tech. So just bear that in mind, that it'll be a bit slower in terms of your own eco expansion and stuff like that when you choose to play with more normalized settings. But with that in mind, I think we're good to launch this. So let's go.
Blueprints ready. New construction options. Building.
Looks like we're spawning on the bottom right.
Construction complete.
Power plant.
Building.
So we can see here our defensive structures. There's already a bunch of special abilities we have access to. So we got Imperial Munitions, General rank 1, unit upgrade, support power, gives you the Jetai Tengu plus 20% damage, and also access to a beam katana. Selected Jetai draw their beam katana plus melee plus 10% HP. So we'll get that. I just want to be very cautious here that we are up against an AI, so I want to make sure we've got a good footing before spending too much time looking at this stuff. So the Jetai are the primary minigunners of this specific faction, the sub-faction. Strong versus infantry, can garrison, can drive vehicles. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good. Get more power. And we have this ability, the beam katana. So if we use this on a couple of these guys, you'll see they'll actually draw their katana instead of just shoot. So you can see there, a bit different. So you can choose to specialize your units in terms of whether or not you want them to be melee or you want them to be ranged. It's an interesting mechanic for sure. What else we got in here? We got emergency power, gives you plus 3,000 for 36 seconds. Very useful ability.
Cannot deploy here. Building. New construction options.
What do we want? I mean, we're going to be trying out all of these. So you got your Humvees, strong versus infantry, good versus siege units. I do really like that they include the unit descriptions. I think it's true Phobos in here. One question that you might be having is at the top right hand side of the screen, why does it say 4 out of 4? And that is a fair question. It's to indicate, it's one of the key features of Phobos that they've enabled, is that it'll let you know how many harvesters you currently have active / idle. So if I clear these guys out, I'll show you what I mean in a second. AI is not playing around, even on easy difficulty. Whoa. Get this guy. So if I stop one of these, you can see it drops to 4 out of 5, for example, there. So it means I've got 4 active harvesters out of a total of 5. A couple more Humvees. It's going to be getting a couple more pillboxes down. Ambulance reinforcements. 1 ambulance spawns after some delay. Guess we get that. There it is. So this should help heal up all the Jitai. There's our airfield. I guess we get a radar center next. We can build bullfrog, strong versus aircraft. Guess getting some of those would be good. Get the radar tower down. Go for the arsenal. So we can now build Harriers and Tengu fighter jets. I'm making probably safe assumption to say that the Tengu is the faction specific. So normally a Harrier is strong versus ground units, whereas the Tengu is strong versus infantry and aircraft. It's a dual mode unit. You gotta deploy it to land or switch. Huh. We'll get a few of those, try them out. We can also build Archer Maidens, strong versus infantry, immune to psionics, detect stealth, amphibious, cryo volley, deals area damage to those enemies. That's pretty cool. It's definitely keeping me forced to be on my toes here. So the difficulty is not anything to laugh at. Some more power. Next up we're going to get... You can see here is also indicators on the icons. Tier 2 for the Allied Arsenal, Tier 3 for the Battle Lab. I guess we'll get the Tier 2. Also have access to Rocketeers, always good to have. An agent can disguise, infiltrates enemy buildings, cannot be crushed. We also got a Cryobuster, strong versus vehicles. Kind of expensive, but I guess we'll try a few of those. They seem to be primarily attacking me from this direction, so we'll get our guys over here. Build a Shatterer, strong versus buildings. Siege unit, it's amphibious. An expansion vehicle. It's okay, we still have a secondary refinery. Did not expect to see an engineer. Take him out. No problem, no problem. What do we got here? Beam katanas. Do we have any katanas left? Katanas? We don't. Get a few more of these in the field and upgrade them. Tengu jet fighters. Guess the ones we built died. Get this ore refinery back up and running. Get more power going. So here's our Tengu that I think deploys and lands into like a little ground unit. That's a pretty cool mech idea. I like that. Beam katana. Iron curtain's always a pain to deal with. Pretty cool. Naval gunter. It's an interesting idea. Battle lab to get our tier 3 tech. So some of the tier 2 tech here seems pretty interesting. I guess I'll put a few units in here since they're hitting us pretty hard from that direction. We stopped building tanks, which is generally a bad thing. Build more of these. Guess we get another ambulance. Sonar pulse scan reveals stealthed units, prevents stealth for 15 seconds. Archer remnant, general rank 2, unit upgrade. Archer maiden creates an immune remnant at death. Attacks until its lifespan runs out. Sure, 10 missile upgrade. For the Humvee, increases armor by 30%, gains an anti-armor missile. That seems particularly useful. Alright, Humvee tow missile now implemented.
Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit ready. Structure garrison. Unit lost. Unit ready. Warning. Nuclear missile.
Oh shit, I don't know how balanced these are, so this is gonna hurt.
Unit ready. Our base
That's actually not too bad, okay.
ore miner under attack.
That's not totally unreasonable.
New construction options.
So I'm a fan of that.
Unit ready.
Battle lab construction complete, you'll now receive a bounty reward for enemy kills. Oh hell yeah.
Unit
Gave us a bunch of ability. Cryoguns upgrade for the Tengu fighter.
Unit ready.
Increases damage, increases armor.
Unit lost.
Tsunami a tank also increases damage, so we got some new tanks here.
Unit
Got
lost.
Pulverizer,
Building.
Battle Fortress, an Athena cannon, and a Cryocopter.
Building. Unit lost. New rally point established.
We want to get more war factories down so our production speed's a bit faster here.
Warning. Iron curtain activated. Unit lost.
Soundtrack's interesting. It's kind of the East Asian influence they have from the general side of things, I guess. There's a Pulverizer. It's like a heavy chain gun type attack.
Unit ready.
It's pretty cool. Some nice green ore over here. They do interesting things with the ore color.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Construction complete. Building. Primary building selected.
Oh yeah, here's another Pulverizer.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
There is a good feel to it, like things blowing up and stuff. The screen shakes is a nice effect. It's not overpowering, but at the same time it feels pretty damn good. This is our Athena cannon.
Begin sequence. Certainly.
It's pretty cool, so it fires kind of a iron cannon type ability.
Unit ready. Building. Primary building.
Definitely want a few of those. The cryocopters we got over here.
Equipment all looks good.
Unit lost.
Did you get that, pilot? Okay, okay.
Construction complete. Unit
So yeah, it feels pretty good.
deployed here.
A lot of interesting units.
Building.
Good potential for different combos and stuff like that. A rocket angel. Okay, it's a hero unit.
Training.
Strong versus ground targets. Hover pack infantry.
Unit ready.
Seems the AI seems to have switched their attack pattern.
Point established.
It's caught me off guard a little bit.
Base is under attack.
So strong versus ground targets. Chrono Storm plus 200% range special attack. Get away from the structures.
Loaded. Unit ready. Unit lost. Ore miner under attack. Unit lost. New construction options.
Damn, they killed my key structures to build that unit.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost.
Guess we'll keep building towards the center.
Unable to provide. Building in progress.
This.
Unit
I
ready.
accidentally built two of these. Whoops.
Unit ready.
Cryo strike. Guess we'll unlock that. So it's kind of like the hero abilities from generals, I guess.
Unit ready.
Is the idea of those upgrades,
Iron curtain activated.
which is fair enough.
Ore miner under attack. Unit ready.
I don't seem to be able to rebuild this rocket angel guy. I don't think I have him here, so I guess unlikely to see him here,
Structure abandoned.
unfortunately.
Unit ready. Unit promoted.
Oh no, here he is.
Under attack. Unit promoted. Unit ready.
That's pretty cool.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
It helps if you don't stop shooting and killing things, right?
Unit ready.
Cryocopter. Hello? Let's take a
Unit
look.
ready.
Beam katanas, so put them here.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack. Repairing. Unit ready.
Get this guy sneaking past us.
Unit ready.
Deploys a beacon within 35 cells
Unit ready.
Give me the signal.
of this guy.
Let's fly.
Unit
Watch it
ready.
I guess we can try that.
Let's fly.
Unit ready.
Hightailing it.
So for example, they've got this thing here. I could use the angel beacon on this,
Unit ready.
right?
Unit ready.
Ah yeah, and then you can basically attack it. So you can do kind of long range damage by attacking on the beacon instead of the structure.
Hightailing it.
Building.
We'll get the spy satellite going, we'll get some power upgrades, more pulverizers.
Destination commander, bound forward.
Your call is important to us.
But yeah, I think it's been a pretty decent look at this faction. You can imagine that once you get more familiar, you can do a proper build order in terms of what you want to specialize in. It looks like their air units combined with their commando is a pretty cool combination. Get some rocketeers mixed in too. We haven't seen their special abilities, however they only have the, well when I say only have, like they have the chronosphere and the weather controller. Very expensive, 6,000 for the weather controller is quite a hefty upgrade cost. I kind of understand it, I guess.
Unit promoted. Unit lost.
And then of course with the upgrade system in here you can like tech towards specifically what it is you want to be going for. We should take out the nuke here.
Unit ready. Cannot deploy here. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit promoted.
You can see here a little bit of the general Soviet factions as well, as we're taking out the base. The basic structure is they have an airfield type structure, so they can get access to air units. They've got a custom con yard, looks different to ours. Looks different to the standard Allies one as well, I would say, or the standard one from base ORA,
Unit lost.
ORA 2 Yuri's Revenge.
Unit ready. Unit promoted.
Unit reporting.
That's pretty fun.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. On our way, sir. Drive
Unit promoted.
To say the super weapons seem to be pretty much unaltered. Like having access to the chronosphere and the weather controller is fair enough. It should stay on radars, which is good. Destroys air units nearby.
Unit promoted.
Whereas the chronosphere, chronoshift, map-wide teleportation works on infantry and units, affects a small area.
closing in.
Unit lost.
Saw that coming from a mile away. Never gets old. But yeah, that's a look at the Japanese faction for the Allies. It's pretty fun.
Lost. You are victorious.
GG's.
Player.
Alright, so next up we're going to try out the new Soviet faction, Ukraine. I guess we'll try it against Gensis. We did pipeline double. We'll try a different faction or a different map. I do like the coloring of the ore and stuff on these actual map previews. It's pretty good. It's a nice effect. Ooh, that looked good. That's some nice lighting effects on this one. Maybe we'll check tension and Immension out. Yeah, let's try a tension Immension, see how this goes. Looks like there's not necessarily a lot of starting ore, but we'll see how we do. So same settings as before. Going to be on different teams, fastest speed. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So checking out Ukraine.
Ready for
New
deployment.
construction options.
So I think our ore was up here towards the top right. And again, on the top right corner of the screen, you can see the 0 out of 0 representing the active harvesters versus inactive we have. Currently there's no harvesters, so it's at 0.
Building.
Here we have got a Beluva medium tank, general rank 1, unit upgrade available at tier 1,
Complete.
and a Strider flank.
Construction complete.
Guess we'll get the tank upgrade. Like, we're starting off with quite a lot of cash, so it doesn't really matter a huge amount.
New construction options. Building.
I am going to learn from our last match though and get plenty of static defense down a bit earlier.
Building. Our base is under attack.
We can get war bears. Oh hell yeah, that's cool. Whoops, I did not mean to move him. So I guess you redeploy MCV on by default. That's cool, it's cool. Get an engineer, capture the oil tech derrick here. Get a war factory. War bears is just a cool idea. It's not quite like the war dogs, it's just that little step above, you know? Oh. That's a little worrying. Get some tanks out now. These beluga tanks that we just recently upgraded. I guess a second ore refinery is okay. So here are the beluga tanks. You can see that they've done some changes as well to the basic crosshair functionality, like the attack, defend stuff. It's a nice blend between RA2 slash generals, so it's kind of a cool idea. It gives a very unique feel to it. So you can build your airfield for your air units and then your comm tower for that. Half track, repair vehicle, a couple of half tracks. An Iron Strider is good versus vehicles. It's amphibious, guess we'll get that. AP trikes, anti-personnel trikes, cool. And once you actually build your airfield, they give you the ability to build runways, which is a very nice way. I think that these are cheaper than the main airfield structure, so you just build like this road part of it, which is kind of nice. Armory, I guess. Expansion vehicle again, so if you want to try and do a forward base, you don't have to build a new MCV, instead you just focus on getting a expansion vehicle. Sonar Storm, a call for transport, builds one MT-24 Hind, requires an airfield, spy plane, that's going to be useful. SSM site, it looks like they're coming at us with a bit of air, so an SSM site's not a... I mean, it'll be useful for defensive purposes anyway. It looks like we both spawned as green here, so sorry about that. Looks like it's a little bit awkward. Oh, it's a naval unit missile battery. Okay, okay. It's fine, we're learning. Spy plane. Get our own flak cannon down, get the armory down. Get our battle lab up next. We can build hammerheads now. And shredders. So hammerhead, strong versus buildings, good versus vehicles, siege unit. Shredder, strong versus infantry, detect stealth, immune to psionics, self-repairing. Sorry sir, you can't have this. This is mine. I mean, I could NG it, but nah. In terms of these units, we get a Sequoia Mark II, strong versus ground units. We also get an Eagle chopper, strong versus siege units, good versus vehicles. So we get some of those down. I absolutely hate dealing with the side troopers. Battle lab, nuclear reactor. Now receive a bounty reward for enemy kills. That's a nice little addition that they give you. Kirov airstrip. Hell yeah, we're getting some of those. What is this structure? Tech expansion post. We can build shock troopers. Get some Spetsnaz. Demolisher. Spy, and then Vlad's your hero unit. Get our nuclear reactor. Interesting in the shapes that they went with for the reactors and stuff like that. They're not relying on the full tile requirement. If you want to get a forward war factory here, normally you'd use this to get extra refineries, let's say. It would be a good use for it. We can now build Doombringers.
New rally point established.
Looks like a take on the Apocalypse tank kind of thing.
Construction complete. Unit ready.
Kuros here going to do some damage. The classic Soviet unit. Glad they kept it.
Unit promoted. Primary building selected.
We could also use Tesla coils. What's going on back here?
Building. Our base is under attack. Construction complete. Unit promoted.
We can build a nuke. We build the Iron Curtain. Industrial plant reduces unit cost. Secondary eco. Up to 5 war factories will
Ready.
generate scraps worth $30 each and disappear over time.
Building.
Alright.
Unit ready.
What else do you want to do? I guess we'll build an expansion vehicle just so you can see how that looks.
New rally point established. Unit ready.
Strong versus infantry. They're doing a lot of infantry, so a few shredders is probably good. So here's the expansion vehicle. It looks a lot like the default Libya explosive truck.
Unit ready.
It's your Spetsnaz sniper.
Unit lost. Unit ready. Warning. Genetic mutator activated. Unit lost.
We also got an Ula chopper, which built these. We built these.
Building.
Oh,
Our base is under attack.
that
Unit lost.
wasn't so good. We want to build some of our basic tanks here. Get some shredders.
Unit ready. Building. Unit ready.
Here's Vlad here.
I'll point out the
Unit
target.
ready.
Russia's fate is with me.
Our base is under attack. Unit
I like that you can easily mark it out based on the ring around the unit. That's pretty good.
new rally point established. Unit ready.
What else? I think we built pretty much every unit.
Unit ready.
We haven't really looked at some of these other upgrades. Ammo reserves. Unit upgrade available at tier 2. Hammerhead fires next round.
Unit promoted.
Iron Guard, general rank 3. Unit replacement.
New construction options. Training. Unit ready. New rally point established.
Okay, get some Iron Guards. Why not?
Unit ready.
Spy plane, call for transport. I guess we'll build one of those
Unit ready.
just to see it.
Select
Get
target.
the spy plane down. Here are the nuke 5,000, the Iron Curtain 3,000. So they are keeping it very consistent with it being expensive across the board. It's not just for one specific faction, which is likely for balance reasons. I can see why they'd want to do that. And Iron Fist buffs nearby units, 250 HP shields.
Unit ready.
It's an interesting idea.
Building. Construction complete.
Nice. Like the Hex Sphere effect.
Promoted. Unit ready.
Say I'm a sucker for hexes.
Unit promoted. Unit lost.
Yeah, it feels pretty fun.
Unit promoted.
And it looks like that didn't entirely make the building invincible. It just seemed to give it a heavy buff.
Enemy unit detected. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Spy plane ready. Unit lost. Unit promoted. Our base is under attack. Unit lost.
Oof.
Unit
That thing does hefty damage.
Unit lost. Training. Building. Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Again, we're getting a good look at the Uri's faction. The Psychor's faction, if you like.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack.
Wrecked.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Yeah, pretty fun.
Unit
So that's a look at the
promoted.
Ukraine faction.
You are
It's
victorious.
very nice, enjoyable. Alright, next up we're going to check out playing as the Cycorps, Yuri's Revenge faction against China. Why not? We'll try it against, I guess we'll try it against their China faction. One of the East Asia factions. So, having a look through the maps, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This one looks interesting. Very green, vegetative land. We'll try this out, I suppose. We're kind of close, but there's a bridge that's broken in between us. I like the looks of that. And we'll go with the same default settings here. So, launch. I like the flag for the faction. It's pretty cool.
New construction options. Building.
Go with the bioreactor. It's the power plant. Yuri's barracks. Very interesting tile set on the map itself. Ravager spawns a Ravengeling, detects the skies. Interesting. Ballistas and then technicians. So here's the refinery. Slap that down. Get a war factory up. These feel very much like Banelings, the Ravagers. I may as well garrison these a little bit. There's a war factory. We can get straight away some. What can we get? Punisher. A couple of Seekers. Chaos Drone. Subterranean ore miner. Interesting. In terms of defensive structures, Punisher upgrade. Get a Gatling gun down. We'll also want to get more in our bioreactors. Probably want to get these moving down here. I don't actually know if the AI has the intelligence in the easy mode anyway to repair this bridge. But I like the idea of it from a multiplayer perspective, being able to go, haha, I am now cutting straight across the map and absolutely wrecking all of your shit. Okay. Looks like that Gatling gun was a good idea. There's your Punisher tank, kind of a standard single turret cannon attack. Okay. Now I can build Wyverns. Psychic radar, give us our radar. Naval yard with biodome. Cyborg Reaper, strong versus vehicles. Get a few of those. We have now access to the sonar pulse scan and also a psychic reveal, which is going to be super useful. I might be able to try and build this down here. I'm not actually sure what the build radius of this will be. This is what I meant. Devolution, it's an ability. Ray pylon. I can build one down here. Interesting. That's kind of cool. And of course, with the radar here, we can see if units target anything specific in here. So we have the Wyvern. We can build Blights. Looks like some interesting structures. Get a battle lab set up here. And debuff these units. Psychic reveal. This should let us see what's going on over here. Very nice. We seem to be doing okay. I like the waterfall effects here. It's very nice. So this is actually doing damage? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's kind of cool. Stinger ambush, 2 stingers spawns instantly. That's cool.
Unable to comply. Building in progress. Construction complete. Low power.
No power. Get that fixed up. Artillery barrage inbound. Oh, it's going for my power. It's annoying, but it's okay. Phase 2 genetics. Blue catalyst, increase enemy HP or speed. So you can kind of choose one or the other. It's a nice idea. Bioreactor down. Cloning vats, usually a good thing for this side. We want to get stingers. We've seen a few stingers. Splicers, strong versus vehicles, strong versus buildings. Repair bots usually good to have as well. Disruptor, artillery. We can also build a vertigo bomber. Huh. Try get across this bridge. I have lost my barracks. I do like that the super weapons aren't just able to one-shot your main construction facility. Otherwise, it would just be a nightmare. At least for multiplayer. Single player, you can maybe get away with that stuff, but for the multiplayer, it just kind of sucks. Grinder, of course, you can use to grind up your own units for money. And we'll build one just for completion's sake. We do have the subterranean harvesters for this faction. It's a pretty neat idea. What can we build now? Cyborg Reapers, strong versus vehicles, a blue catalyst, strong versus infantry. Some brutes, a psychic commando, infiltrators like your spy, an arch templar, strong versus vehicles. Failed experiment, secondary eco, grinds for 1600, so you can buy it for 1400, grind it for 1600, give you a +2 advantage. Nebula here, it's the hero unit. Money seems to be a bit of a problem for us. There's your catalyst units. Disruptor artillery. That's pretty cool. Got a few kind of laser tech pieces going on. It ties in with the sort of Yuri high-tech-ish faction. Kind of alien-ish in nature. It's cool. And then you've got the genetic mutator and this like dominator, which we've seen the AI use in previous skirmishes. It's pretty cool. I do really like the aesthetic here of the China faction. The sort of RA2 take on the general style buildings. It looks really nice. So I think the people who actually made the models for this did a really good job. It ties in pretty nicely to the base RA2 engine and like the style of the structures and units. And I guess it wouldn't be complete if we didn't build some floating discs, right? Yeah. It's pretty good look. Oh, we were so close to getting the floating disc up. Never mind. But I think that's a good overview of that Genesis faction. It's pretty fun. It's interesting. GG's AI. GG's. Okay, next up we're going to play as Vietnam. So this is one of the new factions for East Asia against we haven't seen one of the American factions yet. So we'll go up against Germany, sure. Let's have a look through some of these maps. Ooh, pinch points looks nice. Again, it's using that kind of green jungle style asset. Snow map. I'm not sure we've seen a snow map yet. This will be a good one. We'll spawn on the bottom left, go towards the top right. So we're playing as Vietnam versus Germany. Let's go. So far, I have to say it's a lot of fun playing as these factions. I really like what I've seen from this kind of side. Like the aesthetic of this is really nice. For those curious, I'm also playing this on the 1920 by 1080 resolution. This mod, so I guess, is more built towards multiplayer at the moment. As I say, they have adjusted to adding in some of the default campaign missions, but I think it's primarily used in a multiplayer setting, and that's one of the reasons why I'm currently using it on 1920 by 1080. It tends to be the way that multiplayer matches are played. For if no other reason, to have better vision, be able to see more on the screen. You can like see that this can get pretty hectic pretty quick. So it is fun to see the different factions and how they play it. So airfield, disc throwers. Okay. I've not, as I said earlier, played generals in a very long time. So saying how much of this is directly coming from it and how much of it is sort of interpretation is going to be a bit. It's going to be impossible for me to say. But hopefully you can get a good feel for what's sort of included here and make your own decisions on that. Rifleman training, sure. EMP anti-tank mines. Requires a bunker, deploys 4 EMP mines. Sonar pulse scan. I guess it puts the mines around a bunker. I guess we can build a bunker and find it. Get a war factory down. I mean, like, these are all going to be new in some regard because they're not in the base RA2 engine. And this makes me very excited because I would very much play generals in the RA2 engine over generals in the base generals engine, but it's a personal preference thing. Research facility? Yes, then we can put the mines around it. Emergency repairs. Hell yeah. Barrage, strong versus ground tower. That's cool, so you can just send a barrage out. Research facility.
Our power is low. Building. New construction options. Raise the red flag. Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Destroyers. We can now build VC footman? VC squad, aka footman. I'm guessing as it's Vietnam, it's meant to be like a Viet Cong squad, right? That might be what they were going for there. Troop crawler, amphibious transport, a warlord tank, looks more like my speed. Heavy MBT. Precision loading, increased return of fire with each attack. Hell yeah. That sounds really good. Battle lab, probably want to get more power first. But yeah, definitely liking the looks of this faction.
Construction complete. Unit promoted. Unit promoted.
And what do we got now? AA guns, probably want to get 1 or 2 of those to deal with these little airdrops that keep coming in.
Training. Unit ready. Our base is under attack.
Yeah, our base is under attack. It's fine. It's fine. We got this, guys. We got this.
Construction complete. Unit lost.
Secondary AA gun. We can do reactor upgrades. I guess we'll get one of those, see what it looks like. And we can finally get our battle lab. Reactor upgrade. Puts a little extra Actually, a little nubbin on the power plant. Give it an extra chimney. Here are the special tanks, the warlords. They do double fire instead of single.
Unit promoted.
Reactor upgrade, put that here. Curious to see, I'm not really sure what the special abilities of these factions will be, so we'll have to test those out.
Defending China's border. Bow to China.
Select target. Unit lost.
You can see the stealth
Promoted.
mines here.
Subdue the cowards.
Also, I think we're going to just need to get a couple of cannons around the base. They keep doing these little drops.
Unit promoted. Construction complete. Building. On hold.
Excuse me?
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Select target.
Battle lab back
Particle
here.
cannon detected. Building.
You know, get a bounty for killing enemy units.
Construction options.
Bow to China.
Building.
MLRS, flame tank. Okay, okay. Just feeling more and more like
Unit lost.
TD, Degree and Dawn or Red Alert. That's kind of cool. It's no harm actually. I'm not actually sure if orb grows off of itself in
Unit
this.
ready. Cannot deploy here. Unit ready.
MLRS here with its 2 volleys so you can see it in
Our
action.
base is under attack. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Triangulation complete. Eagle reporting.
Pretty nice. There's the flame tank with the twin barrels in the back. It's very nice.
Unit ready. Unit
The Helix chopper, strong versus vehicles. Yeah, it does like a single volley shot. Quang is the hero. Trung is the hero. So you get 2 heroes as this faction.
Unit promoted.
You get some rail gunners,
Artillery barrage ready.
pathfinders.
Our base is under attack. Unit promoted.
Get a neutron missile silo. Okay, I guess we'll try to get one of these and use it.
Unit ready.
Looks like the enemy's got a particle cannon and a chronosphere.
Unit ready.
So it seems like the sub factions of, let's say, each main faction seem to get different super abilities. Considering when we played the New Japan faction, we only had access to weather control machine rather than a particle cannon.
Activated.
So that's cool.
Unit ready. Repairing.
Oof. But remember that is straight up from like, or looks straight up from Generals.
Our base is
Have I stopped building tanks? I think I have.
building. Unit promoted. Unit ready.
There's the neutron silo,
Unit ready.
nuclear plant. So our neutron missiles loading up. And what's the secondary? Usually you get 2, right? A hack center calls in an EMP bomber, EMPs vehicles and buildings.
Unit promoted. Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
I'll scout ahead.
Unit ready.
Yeah,
Repairing.
you can see the hero units here.
Unit ready.
At least one of them.
I stand ready.
Unit ready. Construction complete.
There's the hack center, power plant,
Building.
call for battle. So we got some more options here. Assault crawler, cluster mine drop.
Construction complete.
Cool. A jungle warfare or urban assault team.
Construction option.
Takes the jungle to the enemy, plus 20% stats for all infantry plus stealth. Or
Unit ready.
fire drops 2 of each anywhere. Let's go with that. EMP tank mines, had that.
Select target.
Get some emergency repairs here.
Unit ready.
Frenzy.
Select target.
And puts units in a frenzy. It seems good.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready.
Also worth noting, looks like our turrets get ranks up or veterancy in this mod, so that's pretty cool. It's a nice feature.
Particle cannon activated. Unit ready.
Get out of there, guys! Ooh,
Unit ready.
yikes!
Unit ready.
Ouch. Neutron bombs getting there. Guess we should send our boys up.
We will station there.
EM pulse bomb ready.
Yeah, I'm pulse bomb
Unit
ready.
ready.
It calls it an EMP bomber.
We stand together. Moving now, sir.
Unit lost. Emergency repair ready. EM pulse bomb launched. Unit lost.
Nice. So it actually disables the static defenses as well, so you can just charge straight in. Wow.
Unit promoted.
Neutron bomb. I guess we'll get it going here.
Neutron missile launched.
We'll get some vision and pull back.
Promoted. Unit lost.
See how it behaves. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Unit lost.
Pretty effective.
Unit promoted. Select
Urban
target.
assault team. We'll get the troopers in.
Unit promoted.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
I think they did a nice job with like the remodeling of the assets for the RA2 engine.
Our base is under attack. Unit
Yes.
promoted.
We are the Red Guard. Moving now, sir.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
With so many different combinations and abilities of the different factions and so many sub-factions as well, I would say for the multiplayer it would take quite a bit of time before you're able to figure out what the hell's going on in terms of the actual meta and balance behind it. But again, they do have a pretty active Discord community, and one thing that's really nice about their Discord channel is that they highlight when someone actually joins a game lobby or if you host one. So they have a dedicated channel that just shows, oh, this person just hosted a lobby. If you want to like go and play, or if you don't want to have to log on and see if there are any games up, you can just look at the Discord channel first, which I think is it's a really nice feature to have as part of your mod for sure.
Player defeated.
GG.
We are victorious.
Nice. That was a fun look at the East Asia factions, specifically these guys. Alright, so next up we're going to check out the Cobra cell. This is part of the GLA factions, one of the sub-factions, against Specter, which is one of the Yuri sub-factions. Found this map, Practice Red, we'll try it out. Let's go. GLA be interesting, I haven't played with them. Like I say, I haven't played the original CNC Generals or 0r in quite a long time. So curious to see how they've gone about doing the assets, integrating them into this game. I got 2 upgrades here, tier 1. Unit replacement for a combat buggy, replaces the combat cycle.
New construction options.
Or we have Greed is Good, enables bounty straight away, gain 500 each tier. I think that's probably what we want to go for.
Where shall we strike?
Rebel ambush, get some units in.
Training.
We
Unit
will not
ready.
be oppressed. Take us to
We'll get a
glory.
prism countdown.
We will not be
New
oppressed.
construction
Yes,
options.
I go. Ready for our way to nothing. Take
Arms dealer to get our war factory equivalent.
our way through. We will not be oppressed. No God is a mighty.
Unit ready.
Interesting map, having these just here.
Our building is finished.
We don't seem to have access to engineers in this faction, so that's something to be aware of. Now at this point you'll see that we actually don't seem to have access to any radar or any equivalent. You need to build a radar van itself, and that acts as your radar structure. It's something that might catch you off guard if you're not familiar with the original tech. Then we can build a black market.
Building.
Scavenger, build a few of these. A few combat cycles, a few hyenas.
Expanding
Unit
service
ready.
area. Not be oppressed. Go away, readiest thing. I will do this. Prepare to
Unit
fight.
ready.
Take us to
Our
glory.
building is finished.
Okay, then we can build a workshop. We can build an aircraft drop.
Building.
We can access to quad cannons, a toxin tractor, trimmer artillery,
Ready.
EMP truck. So we get a few of these. Try them out.
Scorpion, ready to sting.
See what's good. See what's not.
Ready.
We can build a car bomb or a terrorist network.
Unit ready.
Yeah, we got the car bomb.
Is finished.
Worker shoes upgrade.
Unit ready.
Increases their speed by 25%.
Unit
Sure.
Ready.
Deploy a slave miner.
Has fallen.
Sounds good.
Warrior has become stronger.
We'll get the workshop down here.
A warrior
You can now build a
has become stronger.
palace or an aircraft pad. We'll get the aircraft pad first.
A warrior has fallen.
Here's the quad cannons.
Our building is finished.
Pretty cool.
Courage will be seen
New
by all.
construction
There's a toxin. Is it the toxin tractor? Here's your aircraft pad, which lets us get an attack chopper.
Ready.
Reinforcements ready.
Unit ready.
Seems pretty good.
Building. Training.
We can build insurgents, strong versus vehicles, saboteurs, kind of like your spy unit and a commander. Hijacks enemy vehicles, cannot be crushed.
Unit ready.
No conflict is too great.
A unit has been sighted. Unit ready.
We can build a palace
A
here.
warrior has fallen.
New construction options.
That counts as your battle lab structure, I guess. We can build angry mob recruiter.
Training.
Like build a fanatic, it's like your Ivan unit. And then you've got the hero unit here, Rashid, strong versus ground targets. I can build a sandstorm.
Stronger. Building.
Marauder tanks. Sounds good. GLA MCV. Protected driver.
Ready. A warrior has fallen. Unit ready.
Pretty interesting.
Warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen.
GLA Postal Service. Transporting.
Guess the EMP truck has to blow up by the looks of it.
Transporting.
They also have terrible vision, but it does seem to knock out the enemy.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen. Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen. Unit
These are the Marauder
An
tanks.
enemy has been sighted. A warrior has become stronger.
Recycle parts. Reduces vehicle cost.
A warrior
Power drops
has become
force.
stronger.
I think the power drop sounds like it'd be nicer.
Unit ready.
Cloaks target building. Deploy bomb cars.
A warrior.
Guerrilla warfare. One angry mob. Yeah, let's get that.
Where shall we start? A warrior has become
Phosphorus bomb.
stronger. A warrior has fallen. Building.
We can get our Scud missile platform here. Seems to be like the super weapon of this faction. We're also going to want to make sure to not stop building units.
A warrior has
So a few more of these.
building.
A few more of these. A few more of these.
Unit ready. Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. Unit ready.
We have a network.
Unit ready.
Here are the bomb cars that we ordered in.
Fully rested.
Um,
Ready.
it does pretty good damage.
Warrior has fallen. Unit ready. Our building is finished.
Okay, here's the Scud missile launcher.
Ready.
Unit
Stinger sight.
building.
Guess we got one of these. One of the interesting things with this faction seems to be the lack of needing to have any power requirement. I'm not having to build power plants between structures, but it does seem like their overall air still might be a bit weaker to account for that.
Unit ready. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has become stronger.
Genetic mutator of theirs. Oh, they put it right in the front of their base. How kind. You can easily take it out.
Stronger. A warrior has become stronger.
Scud Storm's got about 8 minutes on the clock.
Warrior has fallen. Unit ready. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen.
That seems pretty fun. I mean, slave miner, supply drop, rebel ambush,
Where shall we start?
Raider van scan.
Unit ready. A warrior has fallen.
It's pretty good. Then you can probably pick up the crates if you don't blow them up like that, like an idiot. GPS scrambler, so they can't see.
A warrior has become stronger.
They built a psychic dominator,
Unit ready.
so we'll take care of that.
Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger.
I do like how they've gone about trying to remaster these assets. Well, remaster, I mean adapt them to the RA2 engine. Basically, they must have had to redesign them.
Stay close to safety
But it's pretty cool. And the faction feels pretty good.
A warrior has become stronger.
The idea of the only thing that's a bit of an awkward thing that caught me off guard initially as well was having to get the radar van as a tech structure. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it has a very unique feel to it.
Ready.
Our land must be preserved.
Reinforcements ready.
Reinforcements ready.
Unit ready.
Angry mob.
Full
An
throttle.
enemy has been sighted.
It's good storm launchers
Ready.
aiming up. Slave miner.
Where shall we strike? Unit ready.
This time we'll actually pick up the crates.
Storm ready.
Full throttle.
A warrior has fallen.
Full throttle.
They seem to just do more damage. I'm not quite sure what that's about.
Not efficient for this.
Crates give. Oh, they give 500 points of veterancy. Ah, okay, so you attack it and then you get the XP from them. I see. So Scudstorm. I guess we'll go here.
General.
Should be a good sample of their buildings to target. We'll see them coming in here now. Damn.
A warrior has
That's pretty cool.
A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger.
Reinforcements ready.
A warrior has fallen.
And that's GG.
Warrior defeated.
Nice.
We are victorious.
It's a good look at the GLA. I like how they've they handle it a little bit differently. GG's. Alright, so we've had a look at the skirmish modes. We had a look at the 5 newish sub-factions to the mod, as well as a general overview of the 5 main factions, the Allies, Soviets, the Psychor, Yuri, GLA and East Asia. I think now what we're going to do is have a brief look, just to have just a glance at what the campaign side of things is currently looking like with this mod, with the general side of things. I believe that the Allies and Soviets missions aren't currently enabled on the beta version of this, but I believe on the live version you can play the base ORA2 missions, or at least some of them, with the Allies and Soviets. But we're just going to check out for this maybe the first mission of the East Asia and the first mission of the GLA, just to give you a little glimpse of how this actually looks in the ORA2 engine. So I am very curious.
Greetings, Comrade General. I am Lin Zhang, your senior intelligence officer. Today, as we claim our rightful place among the world's leading nations, your troops will provide security for the glorious display of our military strength. The People's Army will not tire in our pursuit of the terrorist enemy.
Alright. Operation Dragon Awakens. Take control of the bridge to the east, eliminate the GLA forces. That's pretty cool. It looks nice. Remember, this is all in like the ORA2 engine.
Has been secured and will arrive as planned. Proceed with attack. The power of the battle masters cannot be matched.
Well, shit. That went so fast. Wow.
The GLA hope to deter us with their cowardly attack. We will now strike back and destroy the GLA. Make them pay, General.
away. Understood.
Structure abandoned. Unit lost. New construction option.
Right, we are moving. Right, we are moving. Ignition.
Building.
So as you can see, I've changed the game resolution to 1280 by 720 just because it's more, or it seems more efficient, especially for campaign style missions. Usually I tend to do this. It's not specific for this.
General, keep your forces back. A fire strike is on the way. Unit lost.
Alright, fire strike, let's go.
Unit ready.
That's pretty cool.
Well done, Pagalo. Second clear. Training.
But yeah, I usually tend to play Tibson or Red Alert 2 mods on 1280 by 720 for the campaign reasons. It tends to be...
To deny the jailers control of our nuclear arsenal.
Alright,
Base is under attack.
destroy this and this, gotcha. It tends to be a case that it, if there's like manual panning or not cutscenes, but like those kind of things where you have to look into 4 Harriers coming in, it's pretty cool to have it with the map rotation or the map scroll built in.
Survive, General. Our battle master tanks are vastly superior to anything the jailers can take on. Like many of our units, they are
So-
effective in large groups. Unit lost. Unit ready.
It's like, okay.
Training. Unit ready. New rally point established.
So I was never a huge fan, as I mentioned before, of like the original General's game engine
Unit lost.
and the setting and stuff of it being kind of outside the more traditional, you know, Tibson Red Alert timeline. But I would definitely consider replaying through the campaigns in the RA2 Yuri's Revenge engine like this, because it feels like a lot more like RA2 when you're doing it like this, which for me is a big plus. It's basically just kind of like having a mini RA2 expansion, which is super cool, super interesting.
Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Alright boys, come on.
Unit ready. Our base is under attack.
Oh.
Repairing. Unit lost. Training. Building. Unit ready.
Guess we need to bring our forces back.
Unit lost. Unit lost. New rally point established. Our base is under
Seems to be under control.
unit promoted.
Let's leave a few of these back here. Lessons learned and all that.
Unit promoted. Unit lost.
We will defend this territory.
Unit ready.
Fighting for the Red Army. Attack! Battle
Unit
we will
lost.
prevail. Right here.
Unit promoted.
Move order confirmed. Battle Master Tank. Fighting for the Red Move order confirmed. We will defend this territory. Fighting for the Red Army. Battle Master Tank. We are the Red Guard.
Unit lost.
Right
Training.
here. We will defend this territory. Right here. Right here.
That's pretty good. Soundtrack's good.
Unit lost.
Setting feels good. The map's pretty well done.
Unit lost.
I mean, the cliffs and stuff are a little bit jagged, but I think that's just the nature of the engine.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit promoted.
We will prevail.
Unit lost.
Come on, boys.
Unit lost.
Also, our eco is pretty slow at the moment.
Where is the battle?
Unit lost. Unit
Guess I should probably have focused on better early eco.
Unit lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Battle Master Tank reporting.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit promoted.
Can they crush the infantry? It would be great.
Lost. Unit promoted. Unit lost. Unit lost. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Unit ready.
Cripple their facilities. Uplink cables.
Bunch of hackers back here generating cash, I think.
The People's Army. Moving now, sir. Keep the cylinders oiled. Okay.
But I think you get a good idea here in terms of like what's involved in the first mission. rather than drag this out. Like, the idea is just to show you off a little bit the cutscenes, what's involved, how it looks, how it handles. I think you get a good sense of that here. So I'm probably going to leave this mission at this point, and then we'll hop into the
Control terminated.
first mission, the GLA side, and see how that's looking, and then we'll probably wrap it up after that. Launch.
My general, accept the counsel of your compatriot Kenwar Khan. We have lost many soldiers in our struggle with the Eastern Dragon, but as a result our enemy has spread its defenses too thin. They have left important economic and civilian targets unguarded. This should be our next objective in our war against the global oppressors. Let us rise again, my brother. You can lead us to our final victory.
Alright, destroy the Chinese base north of our secret base, destroy the hydroelectric dam.
Time has come. Our cause is just, and our soldiers stand ready. We shall fall upon our foes like lightning from a cloudless sky. They shall flee before our righteous anger.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen.
All of them.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger.
Very well. They must die.
It's a bit dicey there, straight away. Oof. Not sure it's supposed to be this close.
A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has become stronger.
We take what we need.
Maybe don't go right up next to the building that's about to blow up, guys.
That's where it keeps the Chinese.
Nice.
Vengeance is sweet. I killed 4. Terror squad, move to our mountain hideout and prepare for counterattack. The Chinese are scouring the hills for our hidden base.
General, the Chinese are dug in around that hydroelectric dam. Destroying the dam will free the villagers from Chinese tyranny. The Chinese have laid claim to this peaceful village and are spreading their vile propaganda among these simple fishermen. We have rumors of a secret arms dealer operating in this area. If we can find him, we can buy weapons for our cause. General, our goal is clear. Destroy the dam. Make the Chinese pay for their arrogance.
New construction options.
Training. Building.
Okay. So, very similar kind of setup. You start off with a couple of units, you need to do something, and then they bring you onto your base, which reveals the rest of the map.
A warrior is fallen. Our building is finished. Our base is under attack. Unit ready. A warrior has become stronger.
Seem to only have access to infantry.
A warrior has become stronger. Unit ready.
Can't build a weapons factory, so no radar guy for me.
Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen. Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. Our base is under attack. A warrior has fallen.
Repairing.
Unit ready. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger.
Okay,
A
okay.
warrior has fallen.
So you probably need to get a good bunch more units here at the start
A warrior has fallen.
before moving out.
Has become stronger. A warrior
Possibly even avoid these guys, go up along the sides.
unit ready. Our base is under attack.
But they give you an interesting
A warrior has fallen.
Interesting setting, interesting objective. Destroy a dam, hold a section. I'm imagining this is going to be very true to the original 0 Hours campaign slash, you know, Generals campaign. In terms of how it's structured, how you would expect it to work.
Our base is under attack. A warrior has become stronger. Unit ready.
You can try sneak up here, see how it goes. You can get inside these buildings.
A warrior has become stronger. Our base is under attack. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has become stronger. A warrior has fallen. A warrior has
You get the UN crates with the cash in it. Alright, alright. Cool that they have the custom veterancy and stuff in this as well, so you can see the individual unit ranks like over here. Okay, that seemed to go down well. Guess we put this here. Put a few of them in the tunnel here. We'll just charge them towards the dam and then leave it at that, just so you get an idea of what's included here. There's no need, I don't think, to go through the whole mission here. You can see you get your units up to this point, you'll take out the defenses, go past the structures, go up around the top, take out the dam. It's fairly straightforward, it just takes a bit of time to mass up the army and stuff. Okay, I'm assuming I can't attack the dam from up here without aggroing all of them, but you never know, maybe. Oh, looks like that might do it. It's more than a bit cheesy, but we'll see. Yeah, the tanks know something's going on, but they're not. Ah, okay, here they are. It was a bit more than a bit of a long shot. That's all you have to do. Come up here, shoot the dam. Oof. Nice.
I sense danger may be near. Watch your step. Guarding the GLA underground.
Okay, we'll go for one last hurrah and charge them all in and see how far we can get.
The higher order shall reign. The higher order shall reign.
A warrior has fallen.
Ooh, unlucky, son.
We will need more funds, General.
Maybe he's gonna do it. It's gonna be tight, guys.
A warrior has fallen. A warrior has fallen.
The GLA underground. Okay, over there.
Our base is under
The
attack.
GLA underground.
Repair.
On watch for the enemy.
A warrior has
Okay,
fallen.
over there.
Go on, son.
A warrior has fallen.
And we'll keep these guys busy back here.
Has become stronger. A warrior
He's
has
gonna
fallen.
do it. He's actually gonna do
A
it.
warrior has fallen.
Oh, that's amazing.
A warrior has become
What a
stronger.
hero.
Our base is under attack.
Hey.
A warrior has become strong.
And they include the cutscenes. Nice.
Such is the fate of our enemies. Ruin and death. Behold, doom has come to our enemies. Like a tide, we shall sweep over them and drown them in their own greed and evil.
Stronger. Our base is under attack.
Awesome. Nicely
A
done.
warrior has become stronger.
GG's.
We are victorious.
GG's. Easy. Rank is Lieutenant Colonel. Are people alright to put their fate in your hands, General? Part-time, your time. Nice. And I would expect this to go back. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Remember, this is a beta version, so this is going to happen. But yeah, that's going to do it for our overview of this mod. It's been a lot of fun. We've managed to go through the skirmish. We've gone through all the various factions. We've played as Japan, Ukraine, Gensis, Vietnam, and Cobra, which are all the new sub-factions in version 3.0. Which is still currently in beta. Remember, if you want to play the beta version, just download the game from ModDB, go to the updater and change the update server here from live server to beta server, and you should be good to go. But aside from the skirmishes, we've also checked out the campaign, so we've checked out both the East Asia and the GLA. The Allies Soviets campaigns, as far as I'm aware, are in the base 2.5 version of this, just not in the beta client that I'm currently running. So you can check those out. They're more or less the exact same missions from Warrior 2. I don't believe they've made a lot of balance changes for it, but I could be wrong on that front. You'll have to play it and check it out for yourselves. But yeah, thanks very much everyone for joining. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and enjoy the rest of the Red Alert anniversary this year. And I'll see you all next time. Take it easy, folks.